here I am looking at the Six of Cups. It's associated philosophy of Smriti or remembrance, and its associated pose of knees to chest, specifically the yin variation of this pose, as the Suit of Cups is aligned with the yin style of yoga. So what is the Six of Cups all about? A very simple word to attach to the Six of Cups would be nostalgia. And when we think about nostalgia, we think about, picture your most fond, cherished memory from your early childhood or anywhere in your lifetime. Think about one of the most cherished moments that you can, and really put yourself there, like physically feel what it felt like, feel the emotions, the mental state, like really just be there. That's nostalgia. So when we are looking at the Six of Cups from the aspect of nostalgia, we're looking to do exactly what we've just done, looking back at the past for a sense of remembrance, for a sense of, wow, that was a really good time, that was a really beautiful moment. But we're not looking to do that in a sense to stay there or to become attached to that moment. And when we create an attachment to a moment, we consistently seek to recreate that moment because that's what we've attached ourselves to. We're like, well, this moment right here is the best moment ever, so I want to keep repeating this moment. So when we're looking to do the Six of Cups and we're looking to experience that sense of nostalgia and sense of remembrance and look back in the past, we're not looking to, hook our claws into it and be like, well, this is where I live now. We're looking at it from, why was that moment so cherished? What in that moment made it so beautiful? And obviously cultivating the gratitude for the moment. And when we go back and we kind of remind the body and the mind of like, hey, we've had these moments in life, these cherished moments, and this is what they feel like, we remember what they feel like. So when we experience them again, we're like, oh, hey, cherished moment, here it is, I'm seeing it. Because sometimes we get a little bit consumed with our day-to-day life and we lose sight of, hey, we're experiencing a cherished moment right now, but because we're so unaware of it, we're so caught up in the day-to-day of what's happening around us, that we're missing out on the cherished moments. So sometimes we need to look back at the cherished moments to remind ourselves what those moments are like, so that we can remember what they're like, so that we recognize them here in the present moment when they're actually happening. What other work we can do with the Six of Cups in reflecting back and having that sense of nostalgia is obviously healing. We look back in past experiences so that we can understand those experiences, we can gain clarity around those experiences, perhaps even find meaning in those experiences, so that we can allow them to heal and we can let go of those experiences, because perhaps we do have an attachment to an experience. Maybe we have a very severe experience that's happened to us and it's really just constantly there. We're just stuck with this experience. We don't know how to let it go. So we revisit that experience in a very safe, very gentle way in order to gain the full picture of that experience, so that we can find the way to let that experience go, so that we don't have that sense of attachment to us. Attachment is not always attachment to the good experiences. We create attachments to the bad experiences, traumas, PTSD. That is attachment to a horrific, horrifying experience. You're struggling to let go of that experience. And obviously, if you're working with those types of experiences and you're using the Yogic Tarot, that's great, but I do urge you work with a professional as well. Yogic Tarot works beautifully in alignment if you are working with a Western-based psychologist or counselor or coach or anything like that. The system can work in alignment with it, but don't make it the be-all and end-all. Continue the therapy. So looking back to understand these experiences, we gain growth from these experiences, because when we understand an experience, we think of it as that experience is, we're this big puzzle, and that experience is a piece of that puzzle, and that's kind of off center here, and we're not quite sure where it fits in or how it fits or if it even fits. So what we're doing when we're examining this piece to understand how does this piece fit with us, we find a way to either integrate that piece, or we find where, oh shit, wrong puzzle. Okay, this piece doesn't fit here. So we move the piece away. When we look back at past experiences, whether it be good or bad, we look back from a bigger picture perspective. We're not looking to relive it for the terror or for the thrill of it. We're literally there for the purpose of smriti, remembrance. The power that comes from practicing the art of remembrance and doing it without the aspect of attachment to it is that we almost pull building blocks from each memory, each experience that we go back and revisit. We pull some building blocks from each one, and so we stack those building blocks onto our foundation, and we start to build something from that. And what we're building depends on what we're pulling from these experiences. So ideally you want to be building based on growth, based on understanding, acceptance, forgiveness, gentleness, compassion, cherished experiences. These are the building blocks that you want to be building on top of one another. Not, it was a horrifying experience, my life is trauma and stress, I'm constantly anxious, I'm building on these blocks because those are all the experiences that I'm remembering. So try and neutralize your experiences to an extent so that your building blocks become a little bit more neutral. So let's take the philosophy of smriti a little bit deeper. Remembrance, looking back at past experiences, building all the building blocks, but also remembrance of our true nature. When we come into this lifetime, we are whole, we're complete, we are 100% authentic ourselves. We can't be anything else because, well, we just are. We're just the screaming baby that's like, oh my god, I'm here in the real world now. Like, what is all of this? Like, we are just ourselves. And as we go through life, we have all these experiences that we've been remembering and being nostalgic about. We start to form certain ways of thinking, we start to form different layers, we start to form different patterns, different behaviors, different ways of being, different belief systems, and so we start to build and structure ourselves. We do that. Things that influence it, culture, traditions, our upbringing, external experiences, and how we translate all of that is where the responsibility comes in. So we are looking surface level, remembering through all these different experiences to build all the different building blocks, but on that much deeper level with the Six of Cups, what we're really looking to remember and really get back to is screaming baby who is just its authentic self. We are shaped by our external existence. Unless we are mindfully aware of that shaping taking place, we will constantly be molded by our surroundings. The Six of Cups is a lesson in learning to remember who you are, experience how your experiences have molded and shaped you, and how you prefer to continue to mold and shape yourself. So kind of like taking your power back, if you will. So working with the Six of Cups, we're building up all of these little building blocks, but we're also really looking to remember our true nature, our true selves, who we were when we came into this lifetime, that screaming baby who really is just who it is. And by picking back through the past like that, we kind of like pull back through all the layers so that we can get to that screaming baby and be like, hey, who is that authentic person? That's the person that I'm trying to be. That's the person that I want to be. And this is essentially what we're doing with the Six of Cups. We're in knees to chest pose, it's a very kind of like closed off, almost like a, in a sense, a fetal position. So in a physical sense, you're going back to being that screaming authentic baby. And that's why I picked this pose. Is firstly, it's yin based to really get you to dig deep into those layers to find that true nature and that authentic self, and you get there through weeding through all these experiences and building back on those building blocks. And also because it's got that fetal-like position. So firstly, there's a little bit of a sense of being back in the womb, having that sense of comfort and surrounding, and then re-experiencing what it was like to be just you before the world was like, hey, this is who you need to be, or this is how you should do your life, or you need to go and get your PhD, or you need to marry this person. Literally, you get back to who you are. So practicing a pose like knees to chest really gets you to kind of switch off all of this outside noise that says this is who you should be, all those experiences, and we kind of take them all inwards and we explore them on the inside, and we allow our authentic self to observe these experiences, and we allow our authentic self to build these building blocks. And by doing that, we get to experience our authentic self. We don't just get to remember what our authentic self is like, we get to be our authentic self. So a very gentle, very simple pose, knees to chest is an incredibly simple pose, can give you such a beautiful explorative space to really help you get back to that sense of authenticity, that sense of who am I at my core, who am I past all of these nostalgic experiences and these past explorations that I've been doing, who really sits at the core of all of that. So unpack your past. Be as gentle as you need to be as slow as you need to be. Take weeks on an experience if you need to. Pick a area to niche it down to make it simpler, but unpack and be nostalgic about those cherished moments so that you can remember what cherished moments feel like. Unpack those past difficult experiences so that you can grow and find meaning in those experiences, and keep unpacking and really dig down deep and find that authentic, true nature, that true who you are on the inside, that screaming baby that came into the world whole and complete before the world stuck its nose in us. So get back to that true nature. As always, leave your comments, leave your thoughts. That is the 6 of Cups. And really be gentle with yourself in this section of work. There's no reasons for harshness or there was a really hard experience or anything like that. So just the reminder, or rather the remembrance, to be gentle with yourself in this experience. That is the 6 of Cups. Thank you for joining me. Please do leave your comments and your thoughts. Would love to hear them. And I'll catch you in the next Yogic Tarot tutorial.